Yeah, crypto's got talent. DePIN, Jesus, and Heron on my kettle. Let's find the next big bang.
All right. I think we can start it, guys. Welcome, everybody. How is everybody doing? Let's just do a quick mic check for myself, Aaron, and the amazing panelists that we have today. First of all, Aaron, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Can't wait to get started. Unfortunately, the music wasn't starting, but we got the theme song banger here ready to go, queued up.
I think that's queued up, but let's just do TSN, Brandolph, and Scott. So glad to have you guys on board today. I think it's going to be cool. I'm super excited for this lineup. Let's just do a quick round, and then we go with the theme banger.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to be here. Looking forward to finding out what's going on and what people are building.
Awesome. Brandolph, how are you today, man?
Check. Doing good. Happy to be here with you guys. Looking forward to hearing from some projects. Just a little background. I'm coming from Polygon, where I focus on consumer and gaming projects. And so I've got some maybe different perspective from some of the other panelists today. So I'm looking forward to hear strong communication and vision from the founders that are pitching today. And looking forward to digging in with some questions after we hear what they're all about.
Yeah, actually, you bring a good point. I gotta say, pitching, like we did a couple of weeks ago live in Denver, and it was super fun. Pitching in front of strangers, just audio, in front of like hundreds of people is way more difficult, I think. You miss, that communication with like other people in the room, etc. So hats off to EcoTrader, Captur, and Krako. I hope I pronounced it correctly for, doing this, and I can't wait to hear from you. But before that, Scott, how are you, man? How are you doing?
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Super excited to be here. Shout out Aaron for sending the invite over. I see nothing but legends up here. And yeah, I'm Scott. I'm the founder of DePIN Daily. Also building the first RWA DePIN accelerator consortium called Orbital Beam. So excited to hear about all the projects here today, and excited to work with IoTeX in the future too, man. Let's get it.
Amazing.
Congrats. Yeah, can't wait to get closer with you as well.
Amazing. All right, guys, let's roll. But before we do anything, Aaron, I think it's time to play our Crypto's Got Talent national anthem. Let's go. Make that crypto deal. All right, Aaron, let's get rolling. Let's go. Aaron, how are you? What's been happening this week?
Just connecting with lots of projects. We're actually preparing to do an IRL Crypto's Got Talent, hopefully next week in New York. So trying to make that happen. It's quite a bit to organize, but it's going to be legendary renting out a podcast studio there.
Yeah, and if any of you guys wants to fly over to New York City, feel free. Happy to hang out there.
Yeah, it's actually during the Digital Asset Summit, so I think there'll be some projects around the area for sure during that time.
Nice. All right. Well, guys, we have 3 projects that I see here on stage with us. So I guess let's get rolling with these 3, and we should have maybe one more joining. If they don't, then, more time for us. But maybe, Aaron, do you want to give a quick intro on basically what we've been doing? This is episode 4. So just for anybody that's maybe listening, first time they tune in, what's the deal? What are we doing? And how is this going to go?
100%. So a couple months back, Polygon made us a grant alligator, or not alligator. They made us a grant alligator, and
Brandolph, take note.
And yeah, gotten a lot closer with the Polygon and AgLayer team. Actually had the opportunity to meet them in Denver, and such a like exciting team to be around. We did a dunk tank in person there at the AgLayer event, and I got splashed several times, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, with regard to Crypto's Got Talent, as one of the grant allocators, we decided to make things fun and public. So a lot of the grant allocations that you see out there, they're done kind of behind closed doors. So we decided for what we're doing here, we wanted to really open things up. That was like the primary reason we decided to do this way. So open things up, listen to everyone, see what they have to offer, and then we'll have like round 2 and round 3 where we go to like a a video live stream, and then finally even in-person podcast for the third round. But just really opening things up with these X Spaces and listening to everyone's pitches. And this is our fourth one now.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think it's super exciting. I think I always say it, but Aaron came to me on a weekend with this idea. I thought it was genius. So we started it. And I think we actually started a trend. I've been seeing other kind of like reality, like types of shows on X Spaces. So I don't know. Maybe we started a new meta, Aaron.
Yeah, I saw the Crypto Bachelor the other day. I might have to jump into that one too.
Oh, amazing. I also see Cade just joined us as a speaker today. Cade, how are you? Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, how's it going? What's up? Yeah, I'm Kate. I'm the host for Wolf Crypto. We host a lot of crypto spaces around the industry. It's good to have you guys and a lot of familiar faces. We did a lot of DePIN spaces and still are doing them. So good to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, great having you. And so guys, in terms of format, very simple, just a couple of house rules. So we're going to basically have three projects, which is EcoTrader, Captur, and Krako. And then myself, Aaron, TSN, Cade, Brandolph, and Scott are going to be basically the panelists. So if anybody wants to ask questions, any of us wants to ask you guys questions, maybe try to dig deeper into what you're building, trying to figure out, I don't know, whatever it is that they want, feel free. We'll just have an open conversation. By no means judgmental or anything. It's just a matter of like trying to understand better what you guys are doing. And if anybody in the audience also wants to maybe ask some questions, drop them in the comments and we'll try to get to them as well. We have three projects for now. We're supposed to have a couple more, so maybe you guys get each a few extra minutes. Let's try to keep it in the 10 to 12 minute range, including basically your pitch and Q&A. So if I could suggest, maybe try to keep the pitch between like 3 to 5 minutes, and maybe we can spend the rest of the time asking questions or, answering questions. And let's get rolling. I think let's just go maybe from what I have on my screen. So the order is going to be EcoTrader, Captur, and then Krako. That's okay with you guys. EcoTrader, let's start the timer. The floor is yours.
Hey guys, happy to be here. I'm Ty. I'm the founder of EcoTrader. We're coming from a bit of a diverse background, project management, civil engineering, major infrastructure projects. We had this notion about creating a bridge between those projects and the crypto space a while back, but regulation was not there, and nowadays, about a year ago, we saw regulation has come a long way. RWA narrative started to be a little more in the front pages of the crypto space, so we kind of saw it as a perfect storm and went ahead and started developing EcoTrader. So EcoTrader basically will be a tokenization platform and marketplace for our renewable energy projects, where you can participate in fractional ownership of the project. So energy project as a rigid concept, no carbon credit offsets or any green certificate, actual energy generation from solar panel, wind turbines, battery storage facilities that is sold to the consumer, generates stable income and basically offering participation in that via fractional ownership. We are nearing our fair launch in a couple of weeks. So we are very excited to start and offer this participation to our user base and basically get the exposure that we want and have everybody kind of be a part of this green shift and shift towards more sustainable practices while opening the energy sector to the crypto space, which is basically unprecedented. We're basically creating a new sector of investment, a new exposure to one of the largest industries in the world. And basically you can earn money while putting your money to a good cause. So in the gist of it, I'm not sure how much time elapsed, but that's basically what we're building. And I'm looking forward to answering any questions that you might have.
Thanks, EcoTrader. And at this point, floor is open. Guys, feel free. TSN,
Oh,
Scott.
yeah. EcoTrader, thanks for being here, man. So a couple questions for you. So there's a lot of RWA marketplaces that are doing very similar things to what you guys are trying to build. The first thing that always stands out to me with these RWA marketplaces is the liquidity issues. So you can tokenize anything in this whole world, right? From Pokemon cards to collateral settlements. but how do you plan? What makes your platform different that you think that you can get Web3 users to go to your platform over, Panomo, some of these other ones that are kind of already bigger that are out there?
Right. So we are being aiming to be a contender. Definitely, definitely, the liquidity thing is the biggest issue. But since we are in actuality an energy company, if there's something that you don't want anymore and the market is not buying, basically we'll be able to take it off your hands. There'll be a limit to that, or a certain percentage that will need to take off. But there's no issue in buying back our own stocks in the project. So effectively, since we are coming from project development and we develop our own project and holding them and operating them, unlike other platforms that are just intermediaries, we hold both end of the sticks. So we'll be able to more aggressively be able to create the liquidity that is needed if needed. So basically, the idea is that we're looking for long-term holders. The idea is stable cash flow as long as you hold part of the project. But if you want to dispose of that and the market is not buying, we'll take it off your hand. There'll be terms for that. We're still kind of finalizing those. But again, since we're an energy company, we're always in the market to expand to more energy projects. So if we need to buy back a part of an existing project, that basically is a non-issue.
Okay, so I have a bigger question now. So we've heard this before as well, from all the way from Pokemon card buybacks to what you're talking about. The problem in Web3, nobody can scale with the buyback. So how do you plan on scaling while buying back?
Well, again, in energy and especially renewable energy nowadays, there is a lot of support from government and world banks. So basically, I can leverage a lot in the real world that enables me to create effectively a whole new project while only fractionalizing a part of it. So obviously, it won't be true at 100% of the cases, but we're aiming at about 70%. And it has its limit, obviously. Otherwise, we won't be able to expand. The idea is to back up as much as we can, and aim that the user will see the merits of holding. So definitely reality checks in eventually, and we'll have to start up slow and reserve more for any case of a buyback or a need to buy back. But effectively, we will need to use much less of the funds getting in to create new project with less risk and expand more aggressively while still be able to offer buybacks.
All right. Looking at your Twitter profile, it looks like you got started here a little over a year ago. What are your adoption rates looking like for users? And what is your plan for scaling that user adoption in terms of grant application, right? How quickly do you aim to scale, and what type of milestones are you looking for that onboarding?
Right. So honestly, to begin with, we had some bad experience. We kind of trusted the wrong companies and got some decent numbers, but not the right engagement. So we kind of took a step back and kind of focused on creating a more, valuable community and a more rigid fan base. And that's where we are now. Obviously, it does require some more allocations to create that a bit more aggressively. So the idea is to push a lot of the funds coming in early sale to create more exposure. And we're aiming at the first 100,000, let's say by mid next year. And again, this is fractional ownership, so you can buy in on a major project with as little as $100. But we want to create a good community that kind of engages with the philosophy of the project. So we're aiming at that. More DAO-oriented or DePIN-oriented, RWA-oriented crypto investors that will see the merits in long-term returns, very stable, energy sales are usually government backed for 20 years. So it's very rigid, and it is a numbers game eventually, right? But the fact of the matter is that you need to invest heavily in exposure to create a bigger exposure up to a tipping point. So that's what we're aiming to do.
Awesome. I've just got some questions because I've been butting heads regarding regulations with this, on some of the wall spaces actually quite a lot with Cade at the moment, and it seems to quite a hot topic in terms of how you're sort of becoming, what jurisdictions you're working in, what regulations are you working with, and how are you tackling that minefield in terms of your assets.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. That was, like I said, one of the key points that kind of delayed us for a few years. The regulations were not quite there. But honestly, nowadays it's much more straightforward. We're operating in the MENA area as well. We're now developing a few projects in Africa and Middle East. So we're incorporated in Dubai, and regulations now in Dubai allows you to wrap any asset in a ERC20 basically token. So we are working currently under an envelope until we get our own license, but there is service providers that allow us to do that fully on board. The idea of RWA is a bit of a curveball, because eventually, we need that money to develop the project, and we can't pay in crypto. So eventually we'll need to go through a bank, and the bank stops and asks questions. So we have to be fully compliant. Otherwise the money gets stuck and everything, kind of gets to a standstill. And in order to avoid that, we kind of did our due diligence. We have a tokenization expert, one of the world's leading tokenization experts on our advisory. And we are fully aware of compliance and regulations issue, because we're scared shitless about losing the funds or getting them stuck in the bank. So the idea is to not, go beyond the sidelines here. We're fully compliant, working under an envelope, and we're getting our own license. And basically, there'll be a process. Not if you won't identify or go through a KYC, you won't be able to get to the project. If you're a USA citizen, well, not yet. Hopefully, this new administration will do something right about that. But again, the idea is once you cross over, once you do the off-ramping, if you're not fully compliant, you're going to get your money stuck. And that's not something that we are willing to risk.
So it's going to be geolocation based. What sort of areas are you looking to expand out to in terms of locations?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
So you're saying sort of Africa, Dubai based. Obviously, you're saying you can't off ramp in America due to KYC, but have you got any plans to sort of tackle that in the future? Because that's probably a huge market.
Oh yeah, definitely. Honestly, USA is one of the biggest markets, but it's still not there in terms of regulation. Again, I hope now that the ETFs are coming in a big way and the SEC is starting to see a little more, flexibility in that we'll be able to go there. It's a dream market, honestly, and the renewable energy there. The renewable energy sector there is booming again. So definitely aiming to expand. The 5-year plan basically is to create a big enough portfolio to go IPO, and we want to do that in the States. But that really is regulation pending. So again, we won't be able to risk it unless everything is fully compliant, and until the USA kind of catches up on that, we won't be able to do that. Definitely a wish, a wishful thinking. I hope it'll be more.
Hey, EcoTrade, kind of back to and what TSN, great questions. So this kind of goes back again. If you are an envelope company, you're pretty much a middleman right now, and you don't have licenses in America and some of the other places. So back to the first question, how DePIN needs to scale very fast. So what is your plans if you're still in envelope kind of like beta phase?
Well, getting the license will take about 6-7 months. We don't see that as a very crazy amount of time to get our own license. Again, we are developing our own projects. The envelope is just the legal envelope to be able to tokenize them until we get our own license. So once we do that, we'll be kind of on our own. But again, we are now fully compliant. The thing about major infrastructure projects is they take time on their own. So even if we get the envelope tomorrow and we want to develop additional project, let's say for the platform, it'll take about a year to complete. So we're now tokenizing our own project via an intermediary, but that's just for the legal envelope. It's not like we're intermediaries there. We're offering our own projects to sale.
Awesome. Thanks, EcoTrader. I gotta cut us now because we went a little bit over time, and I just want to make sure everybody gets equal amount of time. But thank you for that. If anybody has questions for EcoTrader, drop them in the comments, and then we can either ask them, publicly, like Aaron said at the beginning. We can do a community poll later on, see what you guys thought. Not that it's just that determines if you guys move to the next stage or not, but it's great. We want to try to engage all of our communities as much as possible. So yeah, thanks again for doing this. I know it's not easy, so I think you did great. So
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on. Next on my screen, I have Captur. Welcome. Stage is yours.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. So I guess I should get started right away.
Go for it.
So hello everyone. My name is Sai. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Captur. Before Captur, I have been running Thailand's biggest DePIN distribution and resale platform from Helium, Planet Watch, all the way to Rover and Wingbits now. And I also been in the crypto space since 2017. So now let me explain more about Captur. So before we get any further, I would like to also explain what's the problem. So currently the global location intelligence market is worth over $21 billion. Yet business, governments, and organizations still struggles to access real-time and hyper-local insights. Current data source and traditional methods such as GPS and cellular data, drones, and other different kind of surveys are expensive, fragmented, and lack of coverage. And at the same time, in the cities, there's property owners who hold valuable real-world data, but have no easy way to monetize it. So we're creating the missing link, a scalable, decentralized solution that allows individuals to collect and trade high-quality geospatial data, while also keeping the privacy first architecture. So what's the solution is that we create a decentralized AI-powered camera network that collects and monetizes hyper-local and fixed location real-world activity data. So through DePIN. And so we're doing this by incentivizing people to deploy the cameras to collect pedestrian movement, traffic data, environmental insights, and more in the cities and urban locations. These cameras process all the data on device and on edge. So this ensures there's no video, audio, or personal information is stored or transmitted out. So most of the thing would be numerical data, except for the sound data. Apart from that, our hardware is designed to be modular and future-proof by using mini PC as the core, allowing additional sensors from sound, air, and weather sensors, and even more to be added anytime, like a Lego, making us a physical platform for other projects to co-deploy and build on top physically. Although our main product is hardware, and we want to use that, we will also be testing our pilot program on a web app where users can use their phone or existing cameras to provide live stream to us, and we process the video into numerical data, and then through cloud storage and computing. So the pilot program will be focused in the cities that allow live streaming in public, and so that we don't have any problems with the law and regulations. And also for the business model, we have two main revenue streams, which the first one would be the marketplace where anyone from SME to corporations can purchase analyzed data by selecting how many cameras they want to access, which area, and the durations. And the second stream would be providing data as a service with raw data and API to enterprises and governments. And that's basically a quick overview of Captur. And we're also aware that there's similar projects that have failed before, and also one that is still existing and still pursuing. But we also think that what we're doing is more accessible and with a different approach, and also a bigger image. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thanks, Captur. That was great. Before we get into the questions that our panelists have, I just wanted to rewind for a sec. You mentioned Rover and Wingbits at the beginning, but I didn't quite understand how you guys collaborated.
I was saying that I'm a DePIN reseller and a distributor. So I'm an official distributor for Rover right now as well.
You're talking about distribution of the actual hardware.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
so I run the store that we distribute the hardware for the past 4 years. I sold more than 900 hardware devices, mainly Planet Watch and Helium, but lately it has been selling GeoNet, WeatherXM, and Rover as well.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't quite catch it. Okay, floor is open. Go for it, guys.
All right, I'll jump in there. Really interesting pitch. So I'm wondering, what types of data are you looking to collect with your camera networks?
So yeah, the first thing we're looking at is mostly just numbers of people walking by on the street and how many cars passing by. And then we can always go more detailed into it on what type of cars, what colors, and so on. But all of this will be processed on board, where there won't be any facial recognition or license plate being stored. We only focus on other object detections, and those stuff are more for government usage. So yeah, I mean, we trying to. Those are the two main features that we're looking to get started, but we want to dig deeper into that later on.
Okay, and just a quick follow-up. Will there be any guardrails that protect against the facial recognition or license plate types of data in the future?
Yes. So, I mean, that's the security and the privacy part that we also need to really work hard on it and work with our AI engineer to make sure that like there's a guard that we won't be ever collecting this kind of data, and that every single thing that we're doing is also going to be open source, where everyone can see exactly what we do, because in the uniqueness of our project is not that it's the software, but it's the community and also our experience that we have been in the DePIN space before. So yeah, I mean, for the technical part, that's the thing that we have to work on, but I can ensure that we will be thorough about it.
Capture, what's the price point for the device quickly? Just since, there are, like you said, there have been a few competitors, on the market, just to figure out where we can place you in terms of that.
Yes. So, I mean, from the top of my head right now, if we were to use, example, a mini PC with NVIDIA, it would be around $700. But we're trying to also find a different alternative and different manufacturer that could provide a lower cost. So at the top of my head, it would be around $700 right now.
Cool. Okay, thanks for sharing. Which reminds me, for yourself, EcoTrader and Krako, if you guys want to share some links to like resources so that people in the audience can learn more about you guys, I can then highlight them, just for everybody to see. Just little parentheses. But please, any other questions, guys, from the floor? Feel free.
Hey, Sai, how's it going, bro? Just a quick question for you. I know you mentioned, there's some other projects out there that are similar. Do you have anything on your device that maybe is going to make it more modular, future-proof? You're seeing, as you know, enterprises don't mind, buying new hardware every year, every 6 months, but retail doesn't want to do that. They don't want a paperweight after 12 months, or if it's LTE this year, like I don't want to buy 6G next year, and so on. So just curious if you have anything on the future-proof modular side for your device.
Yeah, for example, the mini PC we're looking at is the NVIDIA Jetson, which is pretty new right now, and it's just been announced with cheaper and better processing power. We're looking at that, but we're also looking with other board as well. So for example, the Raspberry Pi can always be reused as a mini PC and other usage afterward. Like for example, the Raspberry Pi from the Helium Sense Cap can be used for wing bits now, and also do with crank and other multi-mining. So our hardware can also do that for worst case scenario. But at the same time, we also plan to, as mentioned, to have it modular design where other projects, whether it's even BN Silencio or WeatherXM, can always plug in their device on top of ours, where they can build on top of it, or even like have a specific hardware that they want to just plug in with our current camera and just simply direct the data into our mini PC, and then we take care of it, and then we distribute with them.
Oh, it's amazing, bro. Collaboration over competition, man. I love to hear that. I love the double mining. Yeah, man. Great answer, brother.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, people don't want to buy hardware that 12 months after is going to be like a paperweight. So, I mean, as a DePIN reseller, I've seen this for the past 4 years. And that's why I created this project as well, not only to focus on the real world activity data, but also to make sure that the project is for long-term and sustainable enough. And that's why I also thought of other projects. I mean, we're in DePIN together, so might as well just work together and try to push and prove the idea of DePIN that we can provide new kind of data and also standardize it. And, show that like we can provide a whole new level of data collections and also connectivity.
I echo Scott there. I love that answer too.
Thank you.
Where are you guys based?
So yeah, I mean, half the team right now is currently based in Bangkok, Thailand, but we haven't registered our company just yet. And we also talking to actually European government that is showing quite a good interest. And so we're actually exploring in Europe as well, and also in the US, but like the option is open right now. We're doing our final due diligence before finalizing everything.
I love the idea of the micro PCs as well. But in terms of like processing the data at scale, what sort of compute would you need for that? Have you got plans for a sort of a secondary market for it?
So, I mean, I'm not as technical, but for example, let's say we actually wanted to use like things like Raspberry Pi so that we can maintain everything on edge, but it clearly cannot handle our object detections.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was
that's why we
thinking.
look.
I was thinking you'd need some serious GPU compute power there. So
Yeah. So that's why we look at like the NVIDIA Jetson, where they've been getting cheaper and cheaper and also better and faster. And I also think that if we use like big companies' product, it can be useful in later on where it's a lot of like it's much more accessible and people can always learn how to use it easier, and other projects can easily build on top of it. For example, Raspberry Pi is so friendly for other projects to build on top. Helium use it, Wingbit use it, Crank use it, and so many other projects used them before. So I think that we try to keep using like a generalized hardware as well, and not try to go into like a super unknown hardware.
awesome. So how does it work? So if you're the end consumer, sort of what's current sort of partnerships? Who you aiming at? You said governments, but how would the government use it, and what can you say? I can see sort of a use case is sort of traffic management and that sort of thing, but
Yeah, I mean, for example, for the government, I mean, they all have traffic cameras and all of this already, but they do not have the AI object detection to count how many cars and so on. For example, countries that are tourism focused, they want to know how much tourists are passing by, how many people are passing by, so they can organize the logistics better and also have like, traffic control and so on. And for the country that we're actually talking to, have a very unique geographical position where they only have they're landlocked, so they only have like helipads, small airports, and only road transportation. So they really rely very much on the road transportation, and also a lot of enterprises and government is showing interest simply because they see that smart city is the next thing coming up and that they want to be prepared for it. And we believe that our product can be the one that can be the hub where we provide all this kind of data. Since, I mean, everyone right now is jumping on to like AI and all crazy smart contract development and blockchains, but they forget that we're still human. We still need real world activity data where it will still impact our daily life, right? Like for me, living in Bangkok, I hate the traffic. So, I mean, I was like, I want to make this traffic better. And for government, if they can reduce the traffic, they're saving millions of dollars, if not billions per year. So that's why we think that this product could be huge game changer for both government and also enterprises or even small businesses. Because as mentioned, we have the marketplace as well. So this allow anyone, like even a restaurant owner, to come look on the map and try to see which street is the best for them to open the restaurant that has the highest traffic, assuming that the rent location is the same price.
Awesome. I'm not sure if there are any questions, but we are at time for Capture, unless there is like a quick last question. Capture, thank you for sharing. I think it was great. If you want to share some links in the comments, feel free. We'll highlight them, and let's keep in touch. Thank you again for doing this.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Let's stay in touch and let's go deep in together.
Yes, I agree 100%. All right. Last but not least, you have about 13 minutes or so, and then maybe we'll see if there is some Q&A either from the audience or general questions from the panelists, and then we'll wrap this up.
Awesome. Hey guys, my name is Albert, the CEO and founder of Krako. Krako is the Airbnb for AI computing. Instead of renting expensive cloud GPUs, we tap into idle computers worldwide, like PCs, mobile devices, and even telco-powered edge computing. This all to make AI computing 10 times cheaper. If you're an AI developer, you pay way less to run your models. If you have powerful PCs, servers, or even mobile phones that are not being used all the time, you can earn money by contributing your unused computing power. We're making that way we're making AI more accessible, scalable, and decentralized without relying on big tech cloud platforms. I think developing AI app isn't that hard nowadays because most AI technologies are open source. The real challenge starts when developers deploy their models. That's when they realize the cloud computing costs are insane. Meanwhile, we thought 80% of the computing power worldwide sits just idle, like gaming PCs, office servers, mobile devices. These are all going to waste. And AI startups are burning tens of thousands of dollars on cloud computing, while all these untapped powers just sit unused. That's, we felt that, that doesn't really make sense. So in the beginning, we didn't actually intended to start infrastructure company. It was just accident. In late 2023, we built an 3D scanning AI app in just under 2 months and launched it on AWS. Within weeks, our cloud bill shot up to like more than $10,000 per month, even with just few hundred users. That was our wake-up call. So instead of spending too much money on cloud computing, we linked up a few gaming PCs laying around our office and built a simple distributed computing system. And we ran our AI model on our own machines. Same performance, zero cloud costs. So, and then we tested our system by offering it to a few AI developers we found on Reddit, and they jumped on board immediately, and that's when Krako was born. Krako uses idle devices worldwide, create a decentralized AI network. We take complex AI workloads, break them into smaller tasks, what we call chunks, and distribute them to the right machine at the right time. At the core, we have something called Mother, our task orchestrator. It analyzes AI workloads, splits them into chunks, and assigns them to the best available devices. For the most heavy workload, we use babies, our high-performance PCs and servers. We even partnered with telecom companies to leverage mobile edge computing, or MEC, bringing premium AI computing to our third-party developers. For lighter AI tasks, we use X, tapping into idle mobile devices, IoT, and edge hardware. This system makes Krako 10 times cheaper than traditional cloud platforms, instantly scalable, and fully decentralized. And, this is not just an idea. We already scaling fast. Since our soft launch in May 2024, we've processed over 320,000 AI tasks, already onboarded 10,000 plus infrastructure users, and we've been growing 47% month over month in terms of MAU. We already have 4 live third-party AI apps running on Krako, with 2 more launching soon. We want to be the first AI computing economy. So basically, developers pay in Krako token to run AI tasks, while computing providers earn reward for sharing their idle devices. AI startups can launch and stake tokens on Krako AI D app Launchpad, funding their projects and building decentralized AI services. I think our token model powers liquidity, staking, and governance, which will ensure a decentralized and self-sustaining AI economy. And we will also launch Krako Store, which enables developers to buy and sell AI services using Krako tokens. So every transaction flow through Krako tokens before fiat conversion, which will create sustainable AI economy and AI economy for the long-term growth. Unlike other DePIN projects you may already know, focusing mostly on GPU rental or edge computing, Krako truly decentralized AI processing by breaking tasks into smaller units, I mentioned as a chunks, and distributing them across heterogeneous devices like PC, mobile devices, and MEC. This allows any device to contribute computing power rather than relying on heavy, expensive, homogeneous infrastructure. By splitting AI workloads dynamically, Krako eliminates GPU bottlenecks, lowers the cost, and scale instantly. And I think we're the only DePIN projects helping AI startups tokenize their models and raise capital, which, it's not available yet. That, something that we're currently working on. And this will position Krako as the go-to Web3 launchpad for AI startup. Our next milestone will be launching Krako tokens, expanding Web3 partnership, and growing our network from 10K users to 200,000 plus users globally. We're currently raising $1 million pre-seed, and recently XDC just committed to participate. And then that's something that we want to make it as a true AI computing in the decentralized and scalable and unstoppable. Thank you.
Thank you, Krako, for the pitch. Floor is open for all our panelists. What do you guys want to know about Krako?
Very interesting pitch. I think we've certainly seen the distributed network before, and I think you've done a good job of differentiating your approach from some of those other networks with your distributed AI infrastructure specifically. Right. So my question is, are you making efforts to stay connected with communities of AI agent developers as part of your onboarding for this program?
Of course. So, most of the no-code developers, they test everything on the available no-code tools like N8N and then Make. And once that is proven to be working and then probably solving some problems, they definitely need to bring that into the more stable and then cheaper infrastructure. I think we're focusing on mostly like startups and indie devs. So, anyone who wants to launch their application, which is proven to be working with their clients or their customers, I think we should be the first one to support this type of people.
And just to follow up here, where are you looking for those indie devs?
So we're currently fostering the AI developer community right now. So we're learning a lot from them, and then their problems, and then their some of the things that we can help them. So these are some of the learning points that we can get from the community.
Sweet. Brando, if you have a follow.
I think that's it for me. Actually, Krako, I have one of our communities is called Dabble Club, and they host global hackathons with a very strong focus in AI agent creation and DIY and indie devs. So I'm going to reach out to you on the back end and connect you with them. I think that would be a nice funnel for you.
Right.
Nice. All right. Connections happening live. Scott, TSN, Kay, questions, or Aaron, questions from you guys?
I'm just interested in the mobile use, because I think a lot of the AI models and everything, as well as going to big scale, are also going to small scale as well. So what's your plan for that in the future?
Yeah, oh, my bad.
Sorry. Can you say that again?
So a lot of the AI models at the future, they're going to sort of the big graphics cards, H100s, but a lot sort of going into the smaller models, sort of the mobile market as well. So I'm just wondering what your future plans are for that.
So right now, because the place that we started is the 3D, 4D scanning based on AI models like Gaussian splitting or NERF. And we already completed that verticals nicely. So current 4 live apps and then upcoming 2 apps, they're mostly focusing on 3D, 4D scanning. So, some are asking their users to scan everyday object to create a digital asset, as well as the scan to cache. And then we recently launched the gaming application using our technology to create a 3D puzzles. And then also in Japan, there's a company try to asking their users to capture some sensual images like glamour girls and boys and, the body capture to sell their asset to other people. So currently the workload that we're processing is quite heavy because we have to receive like several images and videos and then process them. Probably takes like usually 3 to 7 minutes. It's not going to be like real time. So the current use cases are quite heavy, but we definitely want to explore more with the lighter and something that can be run on the mobile phone especially.
On your website, you say you have 6,000 users. Is that coming from like the use case side, or is that like you have 6,000 devices that are being
Those are
used?
infrastructure users.
Got
So
you.
for live apps, they've been growing with their own users. So and MAU, in terms of MAU, currently we have about like 24,000 MAU, the request from the users from each individual apps.
Got you. So then on the infrastructure side, so you're saying you have 6,000 devices effectively.
6,000 users from oh yeah right. You mean the mobile phone?
Yeah, exactly. Can you break that down so it's all mobile phone, the 6,000, and like where are they mainly located?
So 2 applications are coming from Korea, and 1 in US and 1 Japan, and then 2 more are coming from European side.
Okay.
I just had a quick question. What would make your project different than like what's currently out there? So like, what's the difference between like what you guys are doing, and let's say like IoNet, Aether, kind of like the options that are out there already? Just curious, what makes you guys different than the available options like in the DePIN space now?
I think most of the available like decentralized AI computing, including like famous render network, and whenever you send the task, it's not that your task has to be sits on the one dedicated GPU or device. It's not like splitting into the smaller tasks so that the heterogeneous devices cannot be handled. So because of that, they probably need to have some part of the data center as well as the participating computers with the powerful machines. So, which means like, at the end of the day, their cost will be a little bit cheaper than AWS, but, definitely way more expensive than what we can offer to the third-party developers. So for us, we're dissecting into the one task into the thousands of different smaller tasks, which can be chewed up in the smaller devices in the heterogeneous device network. So it could be on a gaming PC, which will be powerful, or like office laptop, or even like mobile phones. So that will be infrastructure wise, it will be definitely different that way.
Sweet. Anybody else? Kate or?
Yeah, there was something you'd mentioned. I forget the exact train of the thought, but something along the lines of as the data is going through, it goes through your network token, I believe you had said, for like the AI data. Is the main reason for that for mainly getting like transactions on the chain, or is the main reason because it helps out with data collection? Like, what is the link there? I'm not as much of a DePIN expert as some of the guys on stage.
So you're asking the reason that we're using the Krako token
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, just maybe some more details on the token. Yeah.
So the token side hasn't been launched yet. So that's something that we're exploring, and then talking to the blockchain operators, and in order to complete this token economies. So right now, all the 4 and the upcoming 2 developers, we have a contract as a revenue sharing based, because they, the small startups, we cannot push them to pay the fees right away. And then for our contributors, we're sending Krako points instead of Krako token, because we don't have the token yet. So promising that, once we launch token, then they can change the face value.
Yeah,
It's
interesting because you've already built the product, so actually you've probably built it the right way around. You're actually shipping a product before it launch a token. But who's your biggest sort of customer at the moment? Are you aiming to go past this in the future, or to go to a larger scale?
Yes, definitely. Because we're incorporating token, and then we started to see our third-party developers asking us to help them to convert their Web2 application to Web3. So we saw that the opportunity becoming Launchpad is not only providing infrastructure, but also helping them to create Web3 economies. So I cannot say that we're pushing, to create a hard contract with them, but we want to make our Krako token as a base token, so that they can pair our token to their upcoming tokens. So that way we can grow our Web3 economies bigger. But at the technology side, we definitely want to provide more heavier tasks. So we recently started to have a partnership, especially with Telefonica, and also other telco consortium called GSMA, as well as TIPS. And because they've been spending a lot of money on what they call mobile edge computing when they started 5G. And basically MEC is just like big tower rack with a bunch of GPUs. But sadly, they haven't made a lot of revenues from that side, because most of the developers prefer to use AWS or Google Cloud or other cloud platforms. So we partner with them so that we can install our application babies and the X application on their premise, so that whenever our third party asking us to process faster and heavier tasks, we can definitely leverage existing powerful computers. So not only we're expanding our network to the home office computer contributors, but also powerful computers like the mobile edge computing, which will give us expand the third party networks much bigger and heavier tasks.
Those are pretty big partnerships. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. We are at the hour. We actually just lost Brandolph. So Brandolph, if you're maybe listening, or maybe not, but maybe if you listen to the recording, thank you for your inputs. And I wanted to also thank everybody up on stage with us today. TSN, Cade, Scott, really great having you guys. And shout out to our warriors up here on stage with us, EcoTrader, Krako, and Captur. You guys did amazing. I think it's all of you guys super interesting, tackling different projects, different verticals, which is something that I love about what we're doing, because even though we're sort of in the sphere of DePIN, I think RWA is kind of some sort of in some cases a subset. DePIN is a subset of RWA, so that's great as well. It's great to see how everybody's just bringing, innovation in their own way. So I'm looking forward to next steps. I think, as usual, we're going to have community poll next week based on what you guys shared with us today. By no means judgmental, just, feeling the water and what the community thinks. And if there is any last word, maybe from Aaron or for some of you guys on the panel, feel free, and then we wrap this up.
I appreciate you guys for having us here. Appreciate all the projects popping up. Man, shout out to IoTeX for doing something different, doing something new. This is what it's going to take. You got to break the mold and break these legacy systems, and I can't wait to be a part of this again, man. Shout out IoTeX.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, man, great space. I'm not as much of an expert in the DePIN space, so I kind of took a step back and was mainly listening and trying to sponge up the information. I am a big believer in the DePIN and RWA industry. Probably one of the more exciting sectors of crypto this past year that I've learned about. So just trying to learn as much as I can. I appreciate you guys bringing me up here. Shout out to all the companies who are up here doing their stuff. Shout out to IoTech and Aaron for bringing me up. Great space.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want to say one more time.
It's been awesome to listen to the guys who've actually built some of these projects. I can't believe how far they've actually come and developed so far. So, yeah, great to have them up on stage.
Yeah, really high quality projects today. Just want to thank everyone for joining. Can't wait to run it back again for episode 5. I think we're going to definitely see a couple of that projects from today come back for the second round for sure. Yeah, like I said, we are planning to do an IRL event in New York. So if you guys are in New York for the Digital Asset Summit next week, we would love to bring you in and do an IRL recording of episode 5.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks everybody in the audience for watching. If you'd like to learn more about these grants, feel free to follow any of the, IoTeX official accounts or myself or Aaron. And actually, if you're there, do give a follow to our panelists and to the people that came up and spoke on stage, because as I said many times, it's not easy. It takes guts, and these guys did a great job. I think they all deserve a follow from the audience. If you have any questions about any of these projects, feel free to tag them, drop them in the comments, and we'll try to get to them as much as possible. And again, echoing our ethos with this, let's try to make it all public. Let's break the silos, and let's just have a good time with it. Thank you all, guys.